Leaders, look at your peeps. If there's somebody that should
Miles
be on
from
here, get them
Detroit.
on here. I invited a few people that aren't yet licensed. Was like, hey, you should probably get on this call because this is gonna be fire. If you want to come in and in 6 weeks get to your 40% promotion, write three Eagles 50% of the weeks that you're here, you might want to be on this call.
Word. All right. Well, we only have one person who is not here. Sent them a message. RC is taking yesterday and today off. Other leaders, reach out to your people. Dev, are we recording? Yes, we
Yep.
are. Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. Top Dog Friday. I know it's been a minute since we've had a Top Dog with holiday season and train wars and New Year and blah blah blah. And last week, technically, our top dog was Lori Lynn Beck. But with Austin Fox hitting an Eagle week one, being the second highest producer last week with another Eagle, and then being top dog again this week, Lori Lynn omitted to take a step down and hear what the rookie is doing that's got him so on fire. So we're going to be hearing from Mr. Austin Fox today and probably next Friday as well. I haven't checked the actual numbers. Zach might be ahead of him. Who knows? But I think as time tells, he's going to be number one again this week. So, Austin, first of all, for anyone who may not know you, may not have talked to you, why don't you just introduce yourself, talk about yourself, where you came from, what you've done before, all that.
Yeah, well, my name's Austin. I'm in Central Oregon, been here my entire life. I graduated high school in 2014, got out of high school, started a construction company and been doing that ever since and until I found this. And this is where I am now. Happy as could be.
Good. So you started a construction company right out of high school?
Yeah, pretty much that same year, yeah.
Why? Why didn't you just go get a job?
I like the freedom. Freedom's
Okay.
huge. And then it's pretty much ran in my family, so I didn't really know a ton else. I knew get your butt to work and make some money. So that's kind of what I did. And I don't like, not really a person that can take orders from somebody day in and day out. So
Okay.
doing my own thing was definitely the first option.
Okay. And you did that for like 9 years, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then your mother-in-law is Zach's client.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you got here, right? You were referred by your mother-in-law.
Yeah, I just one day was like, you know what? I'm tired of the rat race of construction. Everybody's undercutting everybody. We're going into winter. It's going to be a bad winter. People not paying me, guys not working hard enough, and so on and so forth. And I was explaining to her like, hey, I'm done. I need to find something else. And it was actually last year I kind of looked into my insurance adjusters to get to do estimates and adjusting, and I started that process and just didn't have time and kind of gave up on it, flaked out on it, and then this winter I said, you know what, I want something different. She's like, oh my gosh, Zach, he's been looking for somebody. Do you think you could do this? And I was like, probably not, but I'm all ears. And we sat down with him, and to be completely honest with you, it took me quite a while to get bought in. I knew that I wanted to prove to myself that I could at least get through the exam, at least get through the sales talk. And during that whole process, everybody and watching all the morning meetings and everything like that really lit a fire under me. And then going out in the field the first week and hitting beast mode and seeing what could actually be done, it really opened my eyes and made me want to commit. So.
Okay. So Zach, I know that you're on the plane right now, but at what point did you go to his mother-in-law and say that you were hiring?
I just kind of checked in with them all the time, and they're in a big salon that has like a bunch of people that I hadn't really caught up with yet. So I thought I would just kind of go by and see if I can catch someone new, set a new appointment. And then, one day she was complaining that I didn't bring her a coffee like I brought everybody else out for coffee. So I was like, all right, let's go get a drink together. Me, you, and Colby, the owner. So we went and had a drink one day, and I was just telling them about the business and that I wanted to grow and build an organization in Central Oregon. I was just like, yes, if anybody looking for work, let me know.
Good. So leaders or people, like even if you're not building a team, guys, there's a $3,000 per head recruiter bonus, right? Even if you're not a leader, you have clients and people and friends that know people. And so this is going to be a dual action that I'm trying to show to you guys here. This isn't someone that Zach knew from high school that he called up and was like, bro, come work with me. This isn't, someone from his friends and families list that he was like, oh yeah, dude, do you know anybody? This is a client. Okay. Now, somebody that he went out with and he was talking about what he does. I do this business. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow the organization. There's tens of thousands of people out here. I'm one guy. I got my boy Troy, but there's just two of us in this area. I need some help. So talking to your friends, your family, your clients about what you're trying to do, about what you're trying to accomplish, because then they're going to know. And when someone like Austin comes around and they're like, oh man, I'm looking for a change, I know a guy, right? That's it. So from a recruiting standpoint, you have to talk to your warm market list, not necessarily about what you do in the form of sales, but what you're trying to do in the form of business buildership. Okay. So warm market from a recruiting standpoint. Then Austin comes here. He's kind of nervous. He's like, I don't know if I can do this. He's got some self-doubt, which everyone has, because I'm sure you guys are like, there's no way this guy has any doubt. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. The first thing he said is, I probably can't do this. Right? But then he started focusing. He started being a part of the morning meeting, started studying. He was like, whoa, I think I get this. I think this could be something. Tastes a little bit of success on beast mode. Guys, we're talking about like 4,000 or 5,000 in premium. We're not talking about his first week he wrote 15, 20. 4,000 or 5,000. So Austin, coming out of Sales Academy, when you were going for beast mode, what was the initial run? Like, what were you trying to do? Who were you talking to? Were you cold calling? Were you reaching out to friends and family? What did that look like?
Yeah, the first week right out of Sales Academy, it was mostly the friends and family list. I didn't do any cold calling, if I remember right, just because I hadn't got in the field with Zach yet and seen what that looked like. So I didn't open up that door yet, but I knew the product we had. I knew the people that needed it. I reached out to them, explained it to them, which in itself takes a lot, coming from being a contractor for however long and then calling up everybody that thinks you're this tough kid from Prineville, Oregon, that's ran a construction company, and now you're calling them trying to sell them insurance. So that takes a huge gulp, and but I learned that you got to get through it, and behind every door is a new opportunity. So I just started opening doors and found opportunity that first week, which grew into opportunity and more opportunity and more opportunity.
Okay. So you said who needed it. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, everybody needs it, but
Good.
the people that I know don't have health insurance, I know that are more self-employed, who are more dependent on their income. A friend of mine owns a bunch of small businesses here in town. He doesn't offer health insurance for his employees. During Sales Academy, I actually looked at our list and seen that he had it for his family and one of his small businesses. So I was like, okay. I was already planning on reaching out to him.
Mm-hmm.
That just kind of sealed the deal, and that's where my first eagle came from, was actually working with him and getting the rest of his small businesses. He was with an agent that came through town a while back, and that agent never showed back up. That was just kind of a traveling through, never reached back out, anything like that. I reached out and he's like, dude, we love the product. It's worked for us. We've actually had a couple people take out claims. It's exactly what we need. I've got 3 other businesses. Let's go ahead and make this happen. but as long as you're my agent because I like you. So,
Good,
so
good.
yeah.
When you say it took a big gulp to reach out to these people, I remember one of our first conversations, and I tell this to everyone. You are probably going to beat Divinity Group's record fast start, which was a guy named Dustin Gibson back in 2019, early 2020. He wrote 99,000 in his first 13 weeks. You're probably going to beat that. But what Dustin did differently, and I explain this to every single new person that comes in, I show them the stats, I show them the charts, and I go, hey, here's what these three guys did. Devin's one of those guys. Here's what these three guys did. Why did Dustin have such incredible results over these guys? Why was he closing 40% brand new? Why was he writing Eagles left and right? Why was he, when you look at Dustin, he used his FAR list, he used his friends and relatives list, and he had a 6-page list front and back, so 12 pages of people to just reach out to. Just like you, he grew up in that area. He was super nervous to be going from one industry to another, but he just went out and did it and started saying hi to people. The difference was everyone thinks I have to sell every single one of my friends and family members, which is not true. On average, agents get 3 to 5 referrals a week, maybe, and they set 3 to 5 appointments a week, maybe. Dustin, in his first week, collected like 47 referrals and set like 20 something appointments. He sold 13,000 in premium in his very first week in the field. That's great, but he had 47 referrals because he was talking to friends and relatives. Only 10 of them bought. Even if we just took the 47 that referred in business, subtracted 10, 37 of the people that referred in business didn't actually buy from him. Then you have all the other people who didn't refer in business or buy or any of that. He got 47 referrals and wrote 13,000 in his first week because he was able to face that gulp and go and talk to people and be like, I'm doing insurance now. When we talked and I told you about the FAR list and you had to take that big gulp, what's kind of the thing that made you do it? Because 99% of people don't. They go, I'll call my friends and family in 6 months when I'm better at this. What made you just go, all right, I got to do this?
There's a couple different things. I mean, the product itself, I know that those people needed it. You explained it really well when you told me you now have the opportunity to protect your friends and family. And if you didn't and something happened, how would you feel? And I took that pretty seriously. That helped a lot, but also I knew that I wasn't happy in life, and I knew that I had to make a change. So the only way to make a change is to just fucking do it, right? So I just did it, and there was really no other option. I didn't give myself another option. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to call them next week or I'm going to call them the week after, because in my past life I've been very good at procrastination, and I knew that that didn't get me where I wanted to be. So we got to make a change, and now's the time to do it. So.
Attaboy, man. Coachable as hell, right? What do I got to do? This, okay, I guess I'll do it in the face of fear and doubt and all that stuff. So we're 6 weeks in. You and Zach just said that you crested 50,000, and then you made a sale yesterday. So you've got to be 53K, 55K, somewhere in there. You just hit your 40% promotion, which typically takes people 2 to 3 months. You did it in 6 weeks, and you're just on fire. You hit your friends and relatives list. You got some business out of that. You set a couple of enrollments because of friends and family. What has been working since that first 2 to 3 weeks? In the past 3 weeks, Eagle, where you've kind of spent 3 weeks already reaching out to the friends and relatives. This back 3 weeks of straight Eagles, what have you been doing? What's been going right for you?
Yeah, just no quit. There's a couple days last week. Last week it took me till Saturday to hit my eagle. I knew I wanted it. I knew I was close, but there was a couple of days where I went to go sit down for lunch. I was like, man, today's just not going great. I'm going to go sit down and eat lunch. And then I pulled into the parking lot to go eat lunch and knew that I hadn't done what I had wanted to at that point in the day. And so I pulled my ass right out of the parking lot and went and got back to work. And like I said, every new door is an opportunity, and just kept opening new doors. Definitely the people you are working with. I kind of explained it to Zach yesterday. We had lunch. I'm a huge outdoorsman. My favorite thing in the world to do is turkey hunt. And it's my favorite thing is not to kill turkeys. It's just to go spend time in the woods and learn turkeys, right? Um, but with turkey hunting, every turkey's different, first of all. So every client's different. And you can start out by talking to a turkey that's down in a draw and you're up on top of this ridge and nothing's working. He doesn't want to come in. He's just sick of you. Nothing's working. He shuts up, stops talking to you, blah, 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 right? Well, if you just gave up and left right there, you're done. But if you walk down the ridge and get behind him and go up on the other ridge and start making a different noise, he very well possibly could like that. And that could be the deal sealer. So everybody has a different flavor. I'm learning that really well. Me and Zach went into a salon just the other day, and there was a gal in the chair getting some stuff done with her hair, and she was just not the nicest person in the world to Zach. And I kind of just hung back. Zach went in the back room, started talking to a different potential client, and I kind of just hung back because it was a small room. So I made conversation about a pedicure station, started explaining to them that I took my daughter out and we've gotten pedicures together, and that kind of lit her eyes up, and she was getting some tinsel in her hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, my daughter has tinsel in her hair, and that which brought me showing a picture of my daughter, and her eyes just lit up. And it was from the interaction with Zach where she was like, all right, what are you selling? Make it quick, to me of how adorable are you? And when we left there, when we were walking out the door, she said to both me and Zach, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great thing. So I think that that's been a huge part of my success, is just trying to, figure out who people are and what they want, because every person's different.
Dude, I love a couple of things about that. Number one, I think where most people go wrong in anything is they don't draw on their own experiences and what they already know and use that to apply to what they're currently doing. If you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, you have 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experience in life doing things. And if you can draw lessons from those things and apply them to this thing, you will be more successful. If you try to act like nothing from your previous life applies here, this is all just new information, I got to start from scratch, you're going to struggle. So I relate what I do a lot to fighting and personal training, right? Working out. You're just relating what we do to turkey calling. Completely different from personal training, from sales to turkey calling. But if we can look at what we're doing and draw a likeness and draw the differences from what we do, we can go, oh, man, this is just like doing that thing. I'm really good at that thing. I just need to look at it that way. Boom. Now you have framing complete for how to do and motivate yourself and keep yourself going. So the fact that you're able to draw on talking to turkeys and you're like, it's just like talking to people. Most people might look at that and go, that's crazy. No, that's genius. You're truly understanding that each conversation is different. Each person is different. And each salesperson is different. Devin and I tell you guys this all the time. Oh, I'm in this town and I was out working, and every other business I go into, they're like, someone was just here like a month ago. And within a day or 2 days, you're like, my town's burnt. I need to go somewhere else. No, you don't. Every single person that you run into that has talked to somebody else doesn't mean that they bought from somebody else. And they might have hated the guy that walked in the door for no reason at all. Maybe I look like your ex-boyfriend who abused you. And when I walk in, you're like, nope, that's nothing to do with me. But then the next guy comes in and they love you. She's a parent, you're a parent. You're talking about pedicures on your daughter, tinsel, you're making relation, there's rapport. Yeah. And what you could have done is been like, that lady's a bitch because she was mean to Zach. But you didn't. You let Zach go do his thing. You kept a clear mind. You made a connection with somebody, started building rapport. And that all comes down to the big thing I want to talk about with you, which is, man, your attitude is awesome. Not just like, man, I like this kid, I'd like to hang out with him, blah, blah, blah. When I hit you up, when I ask you things, when we're on the DG chat and we're going over stuff, hey, how's everyone's week going? Hey, what are you doing? It's always, man, it's good. Life's good. Love this. Great opportunity. Love what I'm doing. People need to hear it. I'm having fun. Like, where is that energy coming from? Is it just who you are? Is it a daily choice that you make? Is it like, how are you cultivating your attitude and your outlook on your day and your life?
Yeah, it's 100% not how I've always been.
Okay.
Probably how I've been for the last 2 months, maybe 3 months. But I I was stuck in a rut before this, and I wasn't happy. My kids always told me, "Man, you're in a bad mood." My marriage was like not the greatest, and I knew I needed to make a change, but I was stressed. I didn't like what I was doing. I wasn't making great financial choices or making great money by any means. I knew it needed a change, and the first place that anything changes is with you.
Mm.
So I took that into realization. And you can't do this job if you're in a bad mood. It's just not going to work. Nobody wants to buy from some stick in the mud, right? Nobody wants to be friends with a stick in the mud. So if you go into any business and you're upbeat and you're smiling, no matter if they give you every objection in the world, tell you absolutely not. My job is to make friends. Okay. That's the first part of my job, is to go and make friends. I have the coolest job in the world. I get to go around town and make friends all day long. And I tell every single person that I talk to exactly that. And when they realize that you're not just out there to sell stuff, you're out there to connect with people and make relationships. The trust level goes, from down in the ditch to the top of the ditch, and you're just going to get a lot further. The ears are much more open at that point. If you're upbeat, they want you to meet other people that are upbeat, and but with that being said, everybody's different. So like if I walk into a salon and it's full of a bunch of girls, I'm more on the charming side. If I walk into a mechanic shop, I'm kind of more, maybe even drop a cuss word here and there, just more on the rough and gruff side. You got to read where you're at, but have a smile on your face no matter the scenario, and it's going to get you a lot further. Because even if they do tell you no and you come back in a month, they're going to remember that you were smiling and you were happy. But if they tell you no and you were not happy and you were a stick in the mud and you come back in a month, they're going to roll their eyes the second you walk through the door, like, oh my God, here we go with this butthead again. So I know I need to, I know what I need to do for my career, for my family, for my marriage, and it's just a matter of doing it and being able to like what I do and believe in the product, have fun doing it, being around a great team. It all plays a part of it.
Man, you're just like Andy Santos, which is a good sign for your future. Look at that guy. But Andy has the best attitude of anyone I've ever met. No joke. No matter where I've been in life, Andy is always constantly in the best mood. And I asked him about it shortly after meeting him, and he's like, yeah, dude, this is not like my baseline. This is not the same guy that I always used to be. But when I got into sales, I realized how much of the job was attitude. And he started a self-talk phrase that he still uses to this day, 20 something years later, which is, I will not meet anyone with a better attitude than me today. Period. So he says that to himself 15, 20 times a day. If he gets rocked a little bit, recenter himself. No one's going to have a better attitude than me today. This is just a bump in the road. Let's get after it. And he's just always beaming. And you're like, how do you do that? It's a choice. All day, every day, it's a choice. So I'm going to shut up, guys. anyone have any questions, comments, concerns for Mr. Austin, things they want to dig into about what he's been doing?
I do. Austin, so I'm on the far end, right? Like I get to see your stats, I get to look at your numbers, and I'm like, okay, I'm super proud of you for so many things.
Mm.
And I've had two other agents reach out to me and be like, "What's this Austin guy doing?" And I've pulled up your stats. And I'm like, he's doing a couple things right. He's out there, he's working, he's got a good closing percentage. He's working, he's hitting 20 to 25 demos a week, right? Like all the basic things. But there's one thing that really stood out to me that I made sure I told these guys. And I went back to last week and I screenshotted every single time last week that you protected a family not in regular business hours. So a family, like when you announce a family that was after 6 or on a Saturday, and I was like, and I can't go back further than a week and see the times, but I've seen you protect families after 6 a ton. And then last night it happened again. And like Troy made that comment on Voxer of like, he's like, oh, Devin's onto something with this theory. I'm like, no, it's not a theory. I'm telling you, 80% of the time, if you get a demo after 6 o'clock, they will buy. Right. So one thing that you're doing right is that you're not stopping the clock just when you feel like it or at 6 o'clock. Like you keep going. And you're willing to go late into the evening. So what I guess like one, I want to draw attention to that, like, guys, he's willing to do this. Now, I want to ask you, where does that mentality come from? I also grew up in a construction world and ranching world, and going late for me was never a big deal because in my mind, it was always like, okay, if the job's not done, you're not finished, right? If the fence isn't built, guess what? The cows are going to get out. So you got to go, and it doesn't matter if it takes until midnight. You fix the fence, right? And it's kind of the same thing like in the construction world sometimes where it's like, hey, the other trades are coming in. You've got to get that done. Although you got to get your job done. And if you got to stay out late, it's just the way it is. So I know that that's the way it was for me, but like, I just want to ask you for you, like, it seems like it's no big deal for you to just be like, yeah, I guess I'm working till 9 o'clock tonight. Guess I'm working on Saturday this weekend, right? So I can hit this eagle. Like, walk me through your mentality of putting in the hours outside of the regular business hours.
Yeah, it simply comes down to the fact of being unsatisfied, and I think that I won't have a clear understanding of satisfaction until I have every single person in the state of Oregon protected, not just sold. It's more of a protection thing for me. The peace of mind and understanding how it could help people, and it's a numbers game, but it's also not just a numbers game to me. It's people, but also if it's a lifestyle. If you incorporate it into other things that you do, like last night, you know, not the sale that I made, but I set an appointment. So I went to Home Depot. I had to get some pellets for my pellet stove and some light covers for some stuff we're doing around the house. And the lady at the checkout was like, "I haven't seen you in a while because, construction, I was in there every day. What are you doing?" And I said, "This is crazy, but this is what I'm doing." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds really cool. Sounds like, that sounds like something that everybody would need." And I was like, of course. And so we got to talking a little bit about it and set an appointment for next week. So that's it. You don't have to be out cold calling until 10 o'clock at night. You can just incorporate it into your everyday life. And, you're sitting on the couch in front of the TV, you're not going to make any clients. You're not going to set any appointments. We don't sit in front of the couch on the TV. My wife last night just actually mentioned something about we should buy a bigger TV for the living room and put that TV in our bedroom. And I said, what's the point? We watch one show a week, and that's Sunday morning. We wake up early and watch the new episode of Landman and maybe a football game throughout the week. But that's it. Other than that, we're, spending time with our family or out, talking to people, and it just doesn't stop. You can, no matter, you go to a bar and explain to somebody what you do at a bar, you go out for dinner. I talk to the waitresses. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a 9 to 5 job for me.
Yeah, just to give you guys a little picture, I forgot to go over this. Devin sent me these screenshots, and this is the one thing he asked me to cover. Going back, 10 days or so. Tuesday, 6:44 p.m. Thursday, 8:05 p.m. Saturday, 2:13 p.m. Friday, 9:32 p.m. Few days ago, 4:28 p.m. on a Friday. So yeah, Friday, 5 p.m. closing, Saturday afternoon, 9 p.m. on a Thursday. Just doesn't matter. What I love about you, man, is we used to have a division vice president named Rob Schmidt. He was one of my favorite guys here. And he used to have a rule called the 5-foot rule. Anyone within 5 feet of me is going to hear about what I do, either from a recruiting standpoint or a sales standpoint. Where if you're at Home Depot and you're talking to somebody and it's like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. What's up with you? Maybe we start talking about insurance. Maybe they're like, oh, man, I had to work through Christmas and it was bullshit and blah. And like, hey, man, are you tired of this? Are you tired of working here? Hey, you should check us out, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Anyone within 5 feet is hearing about it and you're living that. Anybody else got questions or anything they want to dig into with Mr. Austin?
Most definitely, man. You are absolutely a rabbit. I know Devin was talking about, or Devin and John were talking about the rabbit thing and stuff like that. Man, I've been chasing you. Won't lie to you for the past couple weeks, being out there super late and everything like that. Even last night, I won't lie, I pulled a what would John do and what would Austin do. I did my STR with David last night and John, and believe it or not, I sat there with a smile, but my tire blew out. I was on my way back from bed to an appointment, tire blew out, literally got to the fucking Walmart, got my tires fixed, was on my way to my client, and got pulled over. I was supposed to be there at 5:30. I showed up at 5:50. She stayed and waited for me because she was just like, you were so fucking awesome. And I just wanted to see if you would actually show up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I called my girl on the way. I was like, babe, this is fucking bullshit. There's a cop behind me. I guarantee he's gonna pull me over because my sticker's still bad, even though it's freshly renewed. And I said, I should just turn the fuck around. And I was like, you know what? No. And I still drove the 30 minutes, got there. She was waiting, had a wonderful conversation. There was 2 other girls. I'm going back today to get the other 2 girls protected. They both were sitting there just cheering. But bottom line, man, don't give up. Keep pushing. You are a rabbit, dude. You are pushing through. And the theory of after 6 p.m., I just haven't heard Devin say it in a while, so I had to spark that up real quick and be like, yeah, where's Devin at with that? Because that is one thing that I've noticed about your success, too, is your times. You are out there pushing and pushing and pushing. And I actually said in the beginning of the week, it was an excuse to Zach about how, damn, man, I can't fucking figure it out after 4 o'clock. And all week I've been out there past 4 o'clock. So you're a legend, dude. Appreciate you. And yeah, man, keep it up. I'm chasing you.
I appreciate everybody, though. You guys are all great. And yeah, that's the thing. I've told everybody that this team is not, it's a team environment. I've been in contracting forever. I've been on my own forever. I don't have anybody to talk to, anything like that. So the team environment is definitely a huge part to everybody's success.
Yeah, man. I'll chime in real quick. I finally found a place to park. But I've been having lunch with you almost every day since I've been back getting the field together. Not I haven't said before, but I'm so proud of you. So happy that you talked to Amy and stuck through all your doubts and stayed here to make it happen, because you're going to be a top first-year producer. You're gonna earn that Lakers chip. You're gonna earn that FIFA chip. You're gonna get everything you want out of here because you want it and you can do what you want. So. Beyond just being professional business partnership, like I see this becoming a really, really good friendship with you and Shay and the kids, and going shooting and pouring candles and all that stuff. I'm just looking forward to what the next year has to bring us.
Yes, sir.
Guys, pretty simple, right? Do the system, have a good attitude, work outside of the normal hours of a clock. You'll see outrageous success. Okay. He's not doing anything crazy that none of us have ever heard of before. Okay. He's just doing the things that most people don't want to do, which is the common denominator of success, right? So Austin, thanks for being on. Everybody, hope you had a kick-ass week. And I'll see you guys back here on Monday morning for the wig call. We did just get I don't know if it's out officially yet, but I got it from the division vice president. We did just get the new incentives package. So I'll talk to Devin, and that'll probably be a big part of Monday's call.
Congratulations, Austin. That's awesome.